All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something that's really heating up in the outdoor world.
Yeah, this whole issue around hunting land, especially the demand for it.
Exactly, particularly for whitetail deer, it seems like the demand is just, well, it's skyrocketing.
It really is.
And it's fascinating because it connects, wildlife management, land economics, hunter passion,
Yeah.
all these different threads.
Absolutely. It's a complex picture.
So if you're someone interested in outdoor recreation, maybe you own some land or you're just curious about how these unique markets work, this is definitely for you. Okay, let's unpack this a bit.
Yeah, and I think what's really foundational here, maybe the place to start, is the why. The core problem driving this intense demand. It's largely habitat destruction.
Right, less quality space available.
Exactly. As those prime natural areas shrink, good hunting land becomes scarcer.
Yeah.
But, the interest in deer hunting, especially for those really impressive whitetail deer, that hasn't faded.
So you get that classic supply and demand crunch.
Precisely. So our mission today really is to explore the top 5 states where this demand for exceptional whitetail hunting is most intense.
And figure out what makes them special. Why these places?
Yeah, why are they not just surviving, but kind of thriving in what's actually a pretty challenging landscape overall?
That makes total sense. Shrinking resource, persistent passion, and it changes how people access land too, right? Like hunting leases seem huge now.
Oh, definitely. They become a really critical solution.
So for someone maybe new to this, what exactly is a hunting lease? And why has this model become so dominant for both hunters and landowners?
That's a great question, and it really boils down to mutual benefits. Basically, a hunting lease is just a formal agreement. A landowner grants a hunter or maybe a group exclusive access to a specific piece of their property for hunting.
Okay, exclusive access.
Yeah, usually for a set time, often like a year. And for hunters, the appeal is obvious, right? You get private access, no competing with crowds like on public land.
Ah, so more control, a better experience potentially.
Exactly. It allows for a much more controlled, often higher quality hunt. You can, manage the land a bit for deer, put up stands, really learn the area without constant pressure.
So it offers that control and a personalized experience, which is getting harder to find. But are there downsides for hunters? It can't all be perfect, can it? Any common challenges?
No, you're right. It's not perfect. Good question. Um, Prime leases, they can get expensive. That's a big one. Sometimes it prices out individual hunters or, smaller, less formal groups.
Okay, cost is a factor.
Definitely. And there's responsibility too, right? You're leasing the land, so you have to stick to the terms. And that might mean things like maintaining food plots or maybe the rules about what size buck you can shoot.
Gotcha. And for the landowners, what's in it for them besides just the money?
Well, the money is significant. It creates a really valuable income stream.
Yeah.
And it's not just, pocket money. This can be crucial for offsetting major costs.
Like farming expenses.
Oh, right.
Or timber stuff.
It's exactly. Farming costs, timber management, even just covering the basic property taxes. In a lot of rural areas, honestly, this lease income, it can be the difference between keeping the land and having to sell it.
Wow, so it's a real economic lifeline. Helps keep those spaces available too.
It absolutely does. It preserves those areas for outdoor use. So, yeah, it's a powerful model.
Okay, that breakdown really clarifies why leasing is so common now. It's about making things work for both sides. So with that backdrop, high demand, leasing growing, let's dive into the main event. Which states are really leading the pack for whitetail hunting? What makes them stand out?
All right, let's do it. We're going to kick things off in the Midwest. It's become a real hotbed for big whitetails.
Excellent. Let's start with Ohio, the Buckeye State. I know it's got a huge whitetail population, somewhere like 700,000 to 800,000.
Right in that ballpark, a very healthy population.
And the hunter numbers, maybe 275,000 to 280,000, seem manageable relative to the deer numbers. But what really makes Ohio such a draw, especially considering it's ranked, number 5 for Boone and Crockett whitetails? That's a serious ranking.
Ohio is a perfect storm, really. It combines great natural features with some smart management choices. First off, the habitat is incredibly diverse. You've got everything from flat, rich farmland
Ag ground, yeah.
all the way to rugged big woods hill country. That variety supports a really robust deer herd.
Makes sense. Different foods, different cover.
Exactly. But here's a key strategic point. Ohio's main gun seasons are deliberately set outside the peak breeding season, the rut.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Well, it means bucks have a better chance to survive, to mature, to reach those older age classes before they face heavy gun pressure.
Ah, so it favors bucks growing older, bigger antlers potentially?
Precisely, and that makes it incredibly appealing,
Hmm.
especially for bow hunters looking for those truly trophy-class animals.
No, it's almost like a management strategy focused on older bucks. Does the data show that?
It does. Ohio's had a significant number of Boone and Crockett entries, especially since the year 2000. That's a pretty clear indicator of successful herd management producing big deer.
And is it statewide or are there specific hotspots?
While you can find good deer across Ohio, that southern third of the state, that's particularly known for producing the real top-end whitetails.
Okay, southern third. Got it. Any other factors?
Yeah, one more big one, which is sometimes controversial, but undeniably effective for hunter success.
Yeah.
Legal baiting.
Right. Using feeders and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. It allows hunters to use feeders, which makes it easier to attract deer, hold them on a property, and pattern their movements. That definitely boosts success rates for many.
Okay.
So you combine that diverse habitat, the strategic season timing, the proven trophy potential, legal baiting, and affordable, easy-to-get over-the-counter licenses. Ohio becomes this really reliable, high-quality destination.
It sounds like a really solid package for hunters looking for consistency and trophy potential.
It really is,
That's-
especially when good land is getting harder to come by elsewhere.
Okay, that makes sense. Legal baiting is definitely a unique tool. Now let's shift west a bit. What about Missouri, the Show Me State? It's another powerhouse, right? Even bigger herd, maybe 1.5 million deer.
Yeah, a massive herd. And close to 500,000 hunters pursuing them.
So more pressure maybe, but also more deer. And it holds its own on the BNC list too, number 7. What's Missouri's secret?
Missouri just has fantastic deer habitat, plain and simple. The whole state is pretty good. But if you're looking for the highest concentration of trophy potential, it's generally that northern half, especially up near the Iowa border.
Okay, northern Missouri near Iowa. Makes sense, that region's known for big deer.
Definitely. And its BNC ranking isn't just history. Like Ohio, a lot of its top entries are recent. 6 of the top 10 typicals, 7 of the top 10 non-typicals, harvested since 2000. That shows current strength, not just past glory.
Wow, that's impressive recent success.
It is. And here's a key difference from Ohio. Missouri's main rifle season does happen during the rut.
Ah, okay. So gun hunters get a crack at them during peak breeding activity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It gives gun hunters a really legitimate chance to encounter those big, mature bucks when they're moving more, chasing does, maybe letting their guard down a little.
That's a huge draw for rifle hunters, I bet.
Absolutely. Then you add in moderately priced, over-the-counter tags, making access pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another big one. It's a $2 state.
$2. You can legally harvest $2 in a season.
Correct. That significantly increases the opportunity for hunters during their trip or season.
Okay, wow. So Missouri offers high deer numbers, proven recent trophy success, a rut rifle hunt, easy tags, and a $2 limit. That's quite a combination.
It really is. It's a compelling package.
Right.
Great blend of high population, real trophy potential, and generous harvest rules. Makes for a memorable hunt. It's a good example of solid state management meeting great natural resources.
That $2 rule alone is pretty enticing. All right, next up, Indiana. I feel like Indiana's been kind of a sleeper state for a while, but it's really waking people up now, right? Gaining a serious reputation for heavy antlered deer.
That's a perfect description. A sleeper state that's definitely awake now. It's a classic example of a place maybe overlooked previously, but now it's firmly on the map.
It's got around 300,000 hunters, roughly. What's fueled this rapid rise?
Well, first, while the state doesn't publicize an exact total deer population estimate like some others, the general consensus is simply there are a lot of deer. Plenty of opportunity.
Okay.
But the really compelling story is how quickly it's climbed the Boone and Crockett rankings. It's ascending faster than many of those traditionally top states. That tells you something significant is happening with habitat quality and maybe herd management.
Faster BNC climb. That's a strong indicator.
It really is. But the moment that put Indiana undeniably in the top tier, that was the U.S. record typical whitetail taken there in 2021.
Right. I remember hearing about that. A national record typical. That's massive news.
Huge. It wasn't just a big deer for Indiana. It was the biggest typical in the record books for the entire country at the time. That proves, beyond any doubt, the state's potential to produce world-class animals.
Wow. Yeah, you can't argue with a record like that. It completely changed the perception of a state's potential. Indiana sounds like it absolutely belongs on any serious hunters list now.
It really should be.
Yeah.
And, importantly, like the others we've hit, Indiana keeps access reasonable with affordable, over-the-counter licenses and tags.
Good accessibility is key.
It is. So the insight for Indiana, it shows that even without, say, decades of fame like Illinois, the right combination of habitat and maybe evolving management can elevate a state to the absolute peak of trophy hunting very quickly. It's about recognizing where that potential is now being fully realized.
Fascinating story there. Okay, from Indiana, let's head south to the Bluegrass State, Kentucky. Nearly 1 million deer, I think.
Close to it, yeah. A very strong population.
But what jumps out at me is the low hunting pressure. Less than a third of the deer population in hunter numbers. That sounds almost too good to be true.
It is a fantastic ratio, and that low pressure is a huge part of Kentucky's appeal. It really does offer a potentially less crowded experience compared to some neighbors.
And it's still ranked number 6 on the B&C list, consistently. So quality is definitely there despite fewer hunters.
Absolutely. Kentucky's got incredibly diverse terrain. You've got the flatter, more agricultural land out west, the famous rolling hills in the central bluegrass region, and then mountains and river corridors further east.
And big deer come from all those areas.
What's interesting is, yes, all those different habitat types produce quality whitetails. But if you had to pinpoint the absolute hotspots for record-class bucks, it tends to be those northwestern rows of counties, the ones running parallel to the Ohio River.
Okay, northwest along the Ohio River. Good tip.
And here's something really unique about Kentucky, a major selling point. It offers an over-the-counter chance at a velvet buck.
Velvet, meaning antlers still covered in that soft, fuzzy skin.
Exactly. The archery season opens really early, the first full weekend in September. That often gives bow hunters several days, maybe even a week, to hunt bucks while they're still in velvet.
That is unique. A velvet buck is a special trophy for a lot of hunters. And over the counter.
Over the counter. That's a rare opportunity nationwide for velvet.
Wow. Adds another layer of appeal for sure.
It absolutely does. And Kentucky's consistency, that number 6 B&C rank, with many of its top typicals and non-typicals taken in recent decades, it just reinforces the sustained quality.
So, low pressure, diverse habitat, trophy potential across the state, and a unique early velvet season. Kentucky sounds amazing.
It really offers an exceptional mix. It's not just about the chance at a big deer, but the chance to pursue it in a less crowded environment, plus that unique early season hunt.
Yeah.
That's a valuable combination in today's world.
Definitely sounds like it. Okay, finally, we arrive at the state often called the original big buck state, Illinois. Legendary reputation, number 2 on the Boone and Crockett list. It seems like the benchmark.
It really has been a benchmark for a long, long time, and that reputation is absolutely earned. Illinois just has incredible habitat.
What makes it so incredible?
Well, you've got vast amounts of agriculture, providing high nutrition food.
Corn and soybeans, mostly.
Yeah, lots of that. But it's mixed with crucial edge cover, woodlots, river bottoms, just ideal terrain that lets whitetails not just survive, but thrive and grow to really exceptional sizes.
And it holds over 750,000 deer, about 300,000 hunters. Similar numbers to Indiana, roughly.
Right. But it's consistent performance at the very top of the B&C charts for decades, usually top 3.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes about sustained productivity.
Decades at the top. That's serious staying power.
It is. And here's something remarkable that really highlights the widespread quality in Illinois. Well, it does have 4 counties ranked in the nation's top 20 for producing B&C entries.
Some well-known hotspots, I assume.
Right, like Pike County, for example.
Yeah.
But most of Illinois' biggest typical and non-typical bucks actually do not come from those famous top 20 counties.
Really? So the monsters are coming from all over.
Exactly. It shows incredible trophy potential spread across much of the state, not just isolated in a few legendary locations.
That's a huge point. It means your chances aren't limited to just a few hyper-competitive areas.
Precisely. And for hunters coming from out of state, while Illinois does use a draw system for non-resident tags, the odds of actually drawing a tag are generally considered quite high.
So it's accessible even with a draw.
Relatively accessible, yes.
Yeah.
Making it a feasible and obviously highly rewarding destination. The key insight for Illinois, it's that unparalleled mix of super rich farmland, perfect cover, and long-term effective game management. It creates an environment that consistently produces trophy deer like almost nowhere else.
It's not just a big buck state, it's like a big buck factory.
That's a good way to put it. And
Yes.
that reliability is what keeps driving that intense demand.
Okay, so those are the top 5, and they all sound incredible for different reasons. But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. This high demand isn't just about these 5 states, is it? It feels like a much broader trend.
Absolutely. That's a crucial takeaway. While these 5 are exceptional, The intense demand for quality hunting land is happening nationwide. It's driven by that core issue, declining prime habitat everywhere.
Our sources mention some other hotspots too, right? Like Kansas, Mississippi, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin.
Exactly. All those states and others are experiencing similar pressures and high demand. They might not hit the absolute top of the B and C list quite as consistently as, say, Illinois or Ohio, but they share key traits.
Like what makes them hotspots too?
Generally, it's things like having large areas of accessible land, often with pretty good habitat, healthy deer populations, and in many cases, good state game management programs.
So similar factors, just maybe not reaching that absolute peak level as often.
Right. Think about Kansas or Wisconsin, known for great trophy potential because they have that mix of farming and woods. Or Texas, huge state, incredibly diverse habitats, and a very long established tradition of hunting leases.
Hmm.
They all represent really valuable opportunities because fundamentally finding any quality habitat is becoming a premium everywhere.
So breaking this down,
Yep.
what does this all mean for you, the listener, whether you happen to own land or you're a hunter looking for that next great spot?
Okay, yeah, let's connect it directly. If you're a landowner, particularly in one of these top 5 states, or even in those other hotspots we mentioned, you need to realize you're sitting on a really valuable asset right now.
Because the demand to lease it for hunting is so high.
Incredibly high. And it's not just about the income, though that's obviously huge. It can also mean better security for your property, having responsible eyes and ears out there.
Makes sense. And for hunters.
Well, if you're a hunter, understanding why these places are prime locations is key. Knowing about the habitat, the regulations, the trophy potential, it helps you strategize. These top states, especially, offer a high chance of what you might call a solid experience.
Meaning more than just shooting a deer.
Exactly. It
Mhm.
means quality habitat, seeing healthy deer, maybe having unique opportunities like that Kentucky velvet season. It's about finding the destination that, checks your boxes for what you value in a hunt. Are you purely after the biggest antlers? Do you want low pressure, a specific type of terrain?
Right, matching the state to your priorities.
Precisely. But the overarching message, the one thing that's undeniable, the demand for quality hunting land, wherever it is, has probably never been greater than it is right now.
So reflecting on all this, what's the big picture takeaway? This deep dive clearly shows that finding good hunting land, especially for whitetails, is getting tougher, driving demand way up.
Yep, driven by that habitat decline coupled with a really passionate hunter base.
And states like Ohio, Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois are really standing out. Each has its own unique recipe, right? Whether it's specific management, diverse land, unique rules, or just sheer record-breaking potential.
They're not just states with good hunting. They're almost case studies in how management, ecosystems, and hunter interest can create these incredibly sought-after destinations.
So what should we be thinking about going forward? What are the future implications here?
Well, this isn't just a snapshot in time. It feels like a fundamental shift, and it has real consequences for everyone involved. For landowners, it's an evolving economic picture, maybe new ways to manage and profit from their land.
And for hunters?
For hunters, it means adapting. Adapting to maybe more leasing, understanding these regional differences better, planning more strategically. But it also raises bigger questions, doesn't it?
Like what?
Like land conservation. How do we protect the remaining prime habitats? What's the future of public access versus private leasing going to look like? How will this intense demand keep affecting rural land values? And what about that relationship between landowners and the hunting community? How does that evolve?
Yeah, lots to consider there.
Understanding those dynamics, it's not just about finding your next hunting spot. It's really key to participating responsibly, sustainably, and effectively in this whole outdoor recreation space. It definitely makes you think about the balance we need to strike, managing demand, protecting the resource, and creating sustainable opportunities. It's a delicate act for the future.